yeah, that is why I chose ISB. And of course, I was very interested in marketing from my MBA days. I was very interested in a postdoctoral program because I thought maybe I have more things to learn. And candidates whom we were interviewing, they mentioned about your portal and how they saw Professor Janat Shah, our director's interview on your portal. So indirectly, you have been
Goosebumps,
helping.
actually. Thank you so much.
Go by your passion. Don't go by what you think is the in thing right now. So
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get all the latest updates. Hi everyone, my name is Anita and I welcome you all on Inkpothub Media once again. Today I'm going to be speaking with Professor Nasa, who is an assistant professor at IIM Udaipur in the area of marketing, and I'm extremely excited to welcome Professor Nasa. Hello sir, good afternoon. How are you doing?
hello, it's an honor to be here, and I'm doing well. Thank you for
Thank you so
inviting.
much. Thank you so much. It has been a back and forth conversation which we have been happening, which are happening, and finally we are meeting. And I'm so excited to host you over here. And I have seen your profile. It is extremely inspiring and inspirational and aspirational as well. So you have done your engineering and MBA from IIT Dhanbad, and then you have worked with Accenture, and then you started your research journey. I am very curious to know what made you think about your, research. What was that triggering moment, and why ISB?
Yeah, so actually, I was interested in getting a terminal degree in the field. So I had done a dual degree, B.Tech and MBA from IIT. It was called ISM, Indian School of Mines at that time. So now it has got the label of IIT. So I had given my GMAT at that time itself in my final year, in my fifth year of the program. So it was a 5-year dual degree program. And I thought I have already done a master's as part of this dual degree. So why not go for a PhD? So I had that plan at the back of my mind, but I didn't know when exactly I'll do it. So after working in Accenture for a bit, I realized that, okay, although it was not technically a 9 to 5 job, but I was not very excited by that typical kind of corporate job that many people do. So I thought it is not meant for me. So I reached out to a faculty at IIM Bangalore and just to explore some research opportunities and maybe to get some research experience before I apply for a PhD. So she actually encouraged me that maybe in India at least the research experience is not necessary and you can get that experience while doing the PhD itself. So she encouraged me to apply in the same year. Otherwise, I had plans of maybe postponing my PhD by 2-3 years. And then I applied to various colleges in India. I got through at multiple places. But ISB's research, the faculty, they were trained at the best schools in North America. So I thought it was a good opportunity for me to get doctoral training in India, but at the level of uh, the training that you get at top research focused schools, say in North America or other places in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So that really attracted me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that is why I chose ISB. And of course, I was very interested in marketing from my MBA days. So
Uh-huh.
the field of study was kind of decided. I
Uh-huh.
mean, for me, it was
Okay.
clear that I'll be doing it in marketing. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, I also observed one interesting point in your LinkedIn CV, so to say. Have also done your PhD from Deccan University. What is this all about? Like, is it a exchange program or from ISB or what?
Yeah. So actually, that Deccan PhD is still not complete. I'm pursuing it. So ISB, as you know, is a private institution, and because of this 1 year format of their MBA, I think the UGC or whichever is the concerned body in India, they don't recognize it as a degree granting institution. So that is why they can only issue a certificate, which is of course accepted as an equivalent to MBA, and FPM fellow program management is accepted as equivalent to PhD by most places, and the ISB has accreditation from AACSB, EQUIS, AMBA. So internationally, it has that validation that fellow program in management is equivalent to PhD, but it is not technically a degree within India. So to do a job in India, to ensure that its graduates are able to work in India also, maybe immediately after the FPM or few years down the line. They had done this. They had signed an MOU with Deccan University in Australia, which allows us to register for a PhD there as off-campus PhD students. But we need to work on a separate thesis. So that is why this Deccan PhD is still in progress. And ISB FPM, of course, I completed it a couple of years back.
Okay,
so,
nice.
But like good schools in India recognize the value of the research training of ISB. So like IIM Udaipur, where I am, and a couple of other graduates of ISB are at IIM Ahmedabad. One has recently joined IIM Bangalore. So they have taken approval from their board that from AACSB accredited institutes will consider FPM as equivalent to PhD. So they have been hiring us, and internationally many graduates have been placed. So internationally there was no problem. Many graduates have gone on to do postdoc also. But just later, you never know, some regulation might change and they will say that no, you need a proper PhD degree. So just for that, I am registered with Deccan University. But again, Deccan is also one of the better research focused universities in Australia. At least their business school and Department of Marketing has some great people. So I am getting to learn a lot by working with my supervisors there. And anyway, like once you do a doctoral program, you are expected to do research even after the completion of the program.
Absolutely.
So my Deccan thesis, I'm just taking it as another research project that I'm doing along with teaching.
Okay. So this brings me
hopefully,
another question to you. Are you interested in a postdoctoral program?
I was very interested in a postdoctoral program because I thought maybe I have more things to learn. And so again, in marketing, I do research specifically in the consumer psychology domain. And ISB's program was more focused on quantitative marketing and marketing strategy. So consumer psychology, there were fewer faculty, and like even my advisor, she left ISB during my FPM. So thankfully, we worked out the arrangements, and she continued to be the chair of my dissertation committee. But I felt that in terms of like what happens in universities outside India, in good research universities, say in US or Canada, it's a full university. So despite being a student in the business school, if I am interested in psychology, I can take courses from the psychology department. So social psychology or cognitive psychology, I can take full-fledged courses in the mother discipline that I am interested in, psychometrics courses. So at business schools, you don't get that much exposure because, of course, there are limited areas. So you can take some course of OBHRM, but pure psychology, there are very limited courses. So I think I felt that I missed out on certain things because of that limitation of being in a business school instead of a full-fledged university. So I thought I'll do a postdoc and maybe get trained more. But I decided against it because I have a good pipeline of projects that I need to get out and get them published. And it takes a long time. Every project, there's a long review process, at least at the top journals. The process sometimes takes 3 to 4 years after first submission till it eventually gets accepted. So in a postdoc, mostly they take you for a specific project, and you are expected to work
those
with a
projects, a lot
specific
of
faculty.
projects,
Yes. So I, of course, and if they are paying me for that project, I'll be expected to make progress steadily only on that. And then my other projects that are there in the pipeline, I'll not be able to get them out. So that is why I thought that this assistant professor position is good enough, because at least on the research front, I have full academic freedom to decide my projects. So postdoc, of course, it has its own benefits in terms of the training, and it's a trade-off that one has to make. But given the current stage of my career and current status of my projects, I felt that the projects which I have already started, I need to take them to completion. And for that, postdoc may not be the best thing, at least right now. And anyway, I have that other PhD also going parallelly. So it would have made things a bit complicated for me.
Yes, you have already made your mind, and I think your research projects are going to train you what you would otherwise have gotten something from your postdoctoral positions. So very interesting thought on postdoctoral positions. So my next question is towards your research interest areas, and I've seen two interesting areas which from your profile I've seen that one is around celebrity gossip, and second is around research around people with disabilities. So because people with disabilities and this particular area is very close to my heart as well, tell me more about that project, because I think it is with the EY and ISB emerging studies. So tell me more about this project. You've also gotten some grants, 13,000 something USD, which is a
Yeah.
huge amount.
Yeah. So actually, while I was a student at ISB, ISB has a Center for Emerging Market Studies, Initiative for Emerging Market Studies, which is co-sponsored by EY. So every year they have a call for proposals for funding, and every year they have a certain themes around which they are looking for proposals, and then from that they make a selection, and finally certain projects get selected for the funding. So the 2018-19 academic year in which I got the grant, the call for proposals had mostly finance related topics. One topic was on war for talent, which was not around finance. And so me and my co-author, Prakash, he was my senior at ISB and is now my colleague at IMU. So we thought, okay, let's try for this opportunity. And we were brainstorming what kind of idea might work and which will fit with this war for talent theme. So we explored several ideas, some related to CSR. And finally, in the discussion, we came up with this idea around persons with disabilities. So in strategy, there is a strategy called Blue Ocean strategy, that certain things everyone is doing and there is so much competition there. So if you also get into that same space, it is very difficult to compete. And with able-bodied individuals, that is what is happening. It's a red ocean strategy, so much competition, and as a result, there is so much attrition also, that people, you train somebody and they become familiar with the work, and then they get a better opportunity, they leave you. But persons with disabilities, we read some literature, we read some industry reports, they tend to be more loyal. The attrition is generally lower than able-bodied people, and they can kind of offer same and sometimes better productivity in certain kinds of jobs. So those reports, the literature, it gave us that insights. So we wrote that proposal with this idea that persons with disabilities, hiring them for a firm could be a blue ocean strategy, and it can help them in winning the war for talent that is ongoing. So that is the background with which we wrote the proposal, and eventually we of course got the grant, and of course we have used it. Like the project started, I think, in 2019 sometime, and we did more than 100 interviews so far with different corporates, different NGOs which are working in this space. And yeah, we have presented it at a few conferences. So of course the project has evolved a lot as qualitative research projects. They based on the data, the research question sometimes evolves, the focus of the research evolves. So of course I told you the background how we started, but then over time, based on the data that we collected, based on additional literature review that we did, now it has taken a different form. It is not exactly positioned in the same way, the way I defined. And in fact, we have split it into two projects. So one is a marketing project where we look at when persons with disabilities are in customer facing roles, how do customers react to them? Because there can be positives and negatives there. There can be a warm, low feeling because you are engaging with an inclusive organization. It can make you feel happy. But for certain people who are maybe not that comfortable or familiar with persons with disabilities, for them that encounter, that service encounter can become a little awkward also, and they can become slightly uncomfortable. So both the aspects are possible. So we are exploring how exactly do customers respond to persons with disabilities in customer facing roles, so front end roles. There is a lot of research in marketing on how to serve customers with PWDs as customers. So that aspect is well explored. But when PWDs are employees, how do other maybe able-bodied people, how do they perceive that, respond to that? That is what we are studying in one project. And the other project is like an OBHRM strategy one, where we are exploring how the narrative that is used to bring the idea of PWD hiring into an organization, how that shapes the organization's inclusion climate, and how that determines the extent to which PWDs are able to reach their potential, like of course, there are several benefits documented of hiring PWDs, productivity, attrition, etc. But many companies are not able to see those benefits practically in their employees. So what is the factor? Why in some companies you can see that potential being utilized fully, in some other companies it is underutilized. So we are trying to understand the advocacy narrative, how that can shape and explain this difference.
Okay, so when is this paper coming? When these papers coming? Like when
So the marketing one is at an early stage. I mean, we have collected some data from TripAdvisor on customer reviews from Lemon Tree Hotel, which is a very inclusive. I mean, it's a big player in the hospitality sector, which recruits persons with disabilities in several kinds of roles. So that is at a relatively early stage. But this other one, we are kind of in the manuscript writing phase. And in fact, today only I presented it at the Journal of Management Studies Idea Development Workshop. So IIM Udaipur and Nottingham University Business School had co-hosted a virtual idea development workshop of the Journal of Management Studies, which is an FT50 journal. So that is where we are planning to submit this, and we got some feedback from one of the senior associate editors of the journal. So we'll incorporate that in the manuscript, and hopefully in the coming months we'll submit it. When it will get accepted and when it will come out online, it is difficult to say because it depends on the review process.
I am waiting to read these papers. I'm really excited to read. Thank you for writing papers on this particular topic, which I feel very close to my heart. Okay, moving to the next part. What is your life journey's experience which you would like to share with the young potential scholars?
So first of all, let me commend your portal. I think in India, there are many portals catering to MBA admissions, and they provide guidance or some tips on how to choose between different MBA colleges and related things, CAT preparation and everything. There are so many such, I think, organizations, portals, but for PhD and for research, I don't think there are too many such opportunities. So thank you for creating that opportunity and bringing research and PhD to the forefront and making it easy for prospective PhD aspirants to make a decision about their research interests and which PhD program. So I think your portal is helping out a lot in that. I've recently taken over as the PhD coordinator for the marketing area at IMU. So I was coordinating the admission interviews a few months back, and many of the candidates whom we were interviewing, they mentioned about your portal and how they saw Professor Janat Shah, our director's interview on your portal, and my colleague Tanvi Gupta's interview on your portal, and how it helped them decide on the right institute or right PhD program for them. So indirectly, you have been helping.
Actually, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So my co-founder always talks about Chinese, bamboo tree. Like you take a lot of we do a lot of efforts, but they are not reflecting in our, outcomes. But then suddenly it shoots up and it reaches to skies. So we are waiting for that day when Inkpothub reaches to skies, and it is available for each and every scholar in India who is looking for research as a career option. And this is
and I think
affirmation that. Thank you.
You're doing great work. So I think it was a big gap that for PhD or for research related things, there was no such forum where people could just go online and get many resources which will help them in making an informed decision. So I think that Inkpothub is doing, and I have seen that I think last year also some candidates mentioned. So this year the number of those candidates increased. So indirectly also a lot of impact is happening, which you may not get to know in your social media engagement numbers, but So I know a lot of young scholars are watching your portal because of that. So firsthand, I know so much help is happening. Yeah. So my main message for them would be that when you are making a decision to pursue a PhD or go for a career in research or academia, go by your passion. Don't go by what you think is the in thing right now. So because whatever you choose, almost all your rest of your academic career, you'll be stuck in that field, stuck in that topic, with that topic. So it is something that you should be passionate about, and you should not go by what is the hot thing right now. So what you are passionate about, do research on that or choose that area instead of, oh, at this institute, maybe this area is best, so let me apply there. That is not the right way to think about research. And even while choosing a college, don't go by MBA rankings, because MBA rankings are for MBA and they are based on MBA placements. For research, in PhD, your placement will depend on your research output. So what kind of research you want to do during your PhD and where exactly you'll be able to get that exposure. So in terms of the topics also, so go through the faculty profiles of various institutes and see the kind of work that you want to do, where that is being done. Also look at the quality of outlets where the research is being published. So the quantity of research is one thing, like how many publications you have, but where you are publishing. In FT 50 journals, there is UTD 24 list, those journals. So where are you aspiring to see yourself few years down the line, and where exactly you'll be able to get the appropriate training? On those basis, these decisions should be made, and follow your passion, as I said. So yeah, I think that is what my message is for the scholars who
Thank
might
you
watch
so
this
much.
video.
I think
Yeah.
I think it will help a lot of people to understand why should they pursue research as a career option. So a lot of serious stuff, Professor Nasa, and I really want to make it a light conversation, because research is always considered as a serious domain and serious space. Uh, let's have a rapid fire round so
Sure.
that we can get to know more about you and about your daily life routines. So let me begin with my first question to you. What is your early morning ritual or practice?
I'm uh, I'm ashamed to admit this, but I'm not a morning person. So early morning, you will mostly find me sleeping, except on certain days when, of course, I have some meeting or class.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, in general, whenever I wake up, I uh, uh, tend to just have my breakfast and tea and come to office as quickly as possible, because and work from home doesn't work very well for me. So I prefer being in my office and doing my work.
Mhm.
So
So
yeah,
you are still in your FPM mode.
yeah. I mean,
Looks like.
yes, yes.
Okay.
So
My next
yeah,
question. A must-have item on your work desk.
so I mean, I don't know whether it is must have, but I like this calendar that I have. Oops, I think because of this virtual background.
Uh-huh.
So manually, I change the date every day, date and
Okay.
day. So this, I think, acts as a reminder for me for the how time is passing, and I have some deadline coming up, so I
Oh,
don't lose track of that. So
okay.
manually doing that just brings it front and center. Okay,
Uh-huh.
today is this date, and I have this deadline coming up.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, this is a necessary that I have on my desk, and I really like. Of course, I
Oh,
don't.
great.
Sometimes I miss doing that also, but yeah, that is the idea behind having this on my desk.
Okay.
That
Next
yeah, with so
question.
many other things going on, I should not lose track of
Okay.
things that matter. Yeah,
Moving to the next question. What's your latest purchase to increase your productivity?
I think I purchased monitor a few months back for my home, and uh, cordless keyboard and mouse recently. So earlier I used to work from laptop, and I realized that many times I work late night and I'm not able to do that from office. So at home on the laptop it was becoming very straining. So I bought a monitor for myself for home also, and a keyboard and external mouse. So
Okay.
that has really yeah helped me do certain things faster and more efficiently.
Okay. Your favorite book?
My favorite book, I think currently it is this new edition of Kotler that has come out, Marketing Management. I'm
Okay.
going to be teaching that. So yeah, that is all I can think about at the moment. So next month I'm teaching the course on introductory marketing course in the MBA program of IIM Udaipur. So yeah,
Okay.
that is the book we are using. So yeah, I think this
Okay.
new version has come out this year only. Like in fact, end of last month, Pearson released it. So yeah, there was a lot of excitement around it, and I have been going through the revised version of the chapters, and I'm liking all the changes they have made. So yeah,
Okay. I'll also go
that is
through it.
yeah. I don't know whether it is my favorite book, but yeah, currently that is what I'm spending most of my time on. So yeah,
Okay. Your favorite quote that keeps you motivated?
Um, so I used to be associated with Art of Living, and that is why I'm exposed to many quotes by Sri Ravi Shankarji, the founder of Art of Living. So one quote by him that I really like is, "Enthusiasm is the baking powder of life. Uh, Without it, you are flat, and with it, you rise."
Wow.
So I really like that quote because like research journey and research projects, they take a long time, and it is difficult to, like, you of course start every project with a lot of enthusiasm, with a lot of excitement, but over time that enthusiasm tends to fade away and you get bored with the project or you lose your motivation. So this quote I keep reminding myself, and I try to stay enthusiastic about most of my projects, if not all.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, I really love this quotation, and I hope that this baking powder, baking soda, whatever we call it, we should always keep on consuming it so that our motivation stays up and at the same level. So thank you so much, sir, and I'm so excited that we spoke, and your insights are really helpful, and I'm sure the upcoming PhD potential scholars and the current scholars are going to be benefited from your interview. Really, really thank you from the bottom of my heart.
No, the pleasure was mine. Thank you for having me. And yeah, I hope at least some people find this
Absolutely.
useful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks again.
It's great to see you all here. Thank you for watching our work. If you have not subscribed to Inkpothub Media, then please hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel and support research celebrations in India.